Welcome to Yoga with Cordelia, yogaing for health and well-being. Welcome to part 1 of my 6-episode series of Yoga for Complete Beginners. You will need a cushion or a yoga block, and we shall begin in Sukhasana, easy pose, which in the beginning isn't always easy. Sit cross-legged, lifting up tall out of the waist. If you feel that you are falling back, can't sit up tall, then sit up on a block or cushion to create space for your hips. Breathe slow, deep breaths in and out through the nose. Lifting up tall through the centre channel, head over heart, heart over pelvis. Hands can rest comfortably on the knees, shoulders forward, up and down the back. Your back muscles may already be getting tired, but stick with it and keep breathing. 5 breaths here. Lower the chin to the chest, neck circles. On an inhale, circle the head up to the right, and then on an exhale, lower it down to the left. Repeat in the opposite direction. Go carefully. You may hear some crunching, but you shouldn't feel any pain. Bring the head back to neutral. Inhale, look over the left shoulder. Exhale to the front. Inhale, look over the right shoulder. Exhale back to the front. Inhale, lower the right ear towards the right shoulder. It won't touch, doesn't need to touch. Inhale back to neutral. Exhale the left ear towards the left shoulder. Inhale back to neutral. Place the left hand down on the mat. Inhale the right arm up and feel the stretch up the right side of the body, and exhale over to the left, keeping both seat bones on the mat or cushion. Try not to lift off the right seat bone. Imagine opening your chest up to the sky and breathe. Navel to spine, and exhale the hand back down. Switch to the other side. Right hand on the mat. Inhale the left arm up and exhale into your side stretch, remembering to open the chest upwards. 5 breaths here. It's not about how far over you go, it's about feeling the stretch up the left side of the body. Sensation over shape. Exhale back to neutral. Remove your prop if you were sitting on one. And carefully come to all fours. Knees under the hips, wrists below the shoulders. Spread your hands wide. You want the weight to be on the web space between the index finger and the thumb, and on the palm side of the finger joints. Feet parallel, not splaying in, not splaying out. Navel up and in. Check that you're not collapsing between the shoulder blades. You want to dome up through the upper back. Breathe here. That which is touching the yoga mat you really want to be pushing away from. And keep breathing. Gaze down between the hands. Extend the right leg back. Rock back and forth. And then rock back, finding a stretch in the calf muscle, and breathe, keeping the navel in towards the spine. Inhale, raise the right leg, keeping it as straight as you can, toes and knees facing down to the mat. Think length rather than height. 4 more breaths here, keeping the navel into the spine. Come back to tabletop. A bit of yoga for the feet. Curl the toes and carefully sit back on your heels. Try not to dump all the weight into your heels. Move each little toe if it is being squashed, and then give your wrists some love. Rotate the wrists one way, then the other. Your toes may be starting to scream at you. Then back to tabletop. Check your alignment, and then extend your left leg back. Rock back and forth 2 to 3 times, and then find stillness, feeling that nice stretch in the calf. Navel into the spine. Keep breathing. Inhale the left leg up, keeping the knee and toes facing down to the mat. Try to keep equal weight on your hands. This is strengthening the core, the back and the glutes. Keep breathing. You may be wobbling here, that is absolutely fine. Lower the leg, curl the toes and sit back onto your heels again, moving the little toe out if you need to. Give the wrists a bit of love. Then extend the arms out in front and then palms down, palms up. Repeat a few times. Nice stretch for the wrists, the muscles in the forearms. Then stretch the left fingers back using the right hand. And then swap sides. Your wrists and forearms have worked very hard. Uncurl the toes and sit down onto your heels and fold forward, arms outstretched, child's pose. Your forehead may or may not reach the mat. It can be really nice to place a cushion or block under the forehead to bring the mat up to you. If your knees are talking to you, it can be really nice to place a cushion or block behind the knees. Child's pose is a great resting pose. Breathe deeply. Mindfully come back up to tabletop, remove any props, swing your legs round to the side and come through to seated. Legs straight out in front. If you feel that you are collapsing in the lumbar spine, then sit up on your block or cushion. Create space for your hips. Legs out in front, legs can be straight, or the knees can be bent. Inhale, raise the arms up. Exhale, fold forward from the hips, not the lumbar spine. You may not go very far forward at all. Your hands may reach the shins or the thighs. You want to avoid rounding the back. Think chest towards the thighs rather than forehead. This is to prevent any injury to the spine. Find where you're at today and breathe. Sensation over shape. Seated forward fold. Inhale, raise the arms up, lifting the torso back up. Lower the arms and remove your prop if you were using one. We're coming into boat pose, a great posture for working the core. Sit upright, knees bent, feet hip width apart and parallel. Hands holding onto the back of the thighs and think opening the chest. Bringing the shoulder blades back and together. knitting the lower ribs in and really sucking that navel into the spine. You can try one step further. Lift the shins so they are parallel to the ceiling. Squeeze the legs together, still holding the back of the thighs, keeping the chest open. 5 breaths. Welcome that tremble, if you are trembling. Body transformation. Keep breathing. And smile. Release the legs, come back into Sukhasana. Easy pose, cross-legged, or if that isn't working for you, come into kneeling. Inhale, raise the arms up overhead, palms together, bring them down to the heart center and think sternum to thumbs and thumbs to sternum. Have some force between the 2 palms, arms are active. I hope you have enjoyed this class. Return to it 2 to 3 times over the next week and I'll be releasing part 2 very soon. If you have enjoyed this yoga sequence, please give it a thumbs up and click the subscribe button below. Namaste.